Today we're going to go through the process of installing a hot water recirculation pump. This convenient little device makes it to where you have hot water almost instantly at all faucets at all times and is incredibly easy to install. Now, before we begin, there are risks associated with installing a pump like this. It does cause increased wear and tear on your pipes, your water heater, and if your plumbing has issues, this can exacerbate them. For example, I did have a very old shark bite fitting fail on me a few weeks after install due to the increased line pressure from the pump. You'll also want to set the pump up on a timer to only run periodically, and that part is not covered in this video, as I used a smart plug that connects to Home Assistant and is far more niche than what I will recommend later in this video. With all of that said and out of the way, let's start with prepping the pump for install. You'll want to use Teflon tape around both sides of the pump, doing at least 3 or 4 wraps. When using Teflon tape, always make sure you go clockwise so it's not going against the fitting when you put it on. Feel free to roast me in the comments below at how terrible I am at wrapping Teflon tape. I always struggle to do so on camera as I'm trying to make sure my hands aren't in the way of the camera. On the note of things being difficult because there's a camera, let's go ahead and remove the hot water outline from our water heater to install the pump. I feel I shouldn't need to say this, but make sure you turn your water off before disconnecting this line or you will have water going everywhere. Some water will always come out, hence the towel that's right here. That super old brass to PEX shark bite in the back on the red line? Yeah, that's the one that blew off due to extra pressure while I was streaming one Monday and had to end the stream early to fix that. There was a lot of water from that. With the hose removed and threads cleaned up, grab your Teflon tape and struggle to wrap the outlet nipple a few times. One of these days I should put the electrical plate back over the connections over there. Maybe in 2026 it'll happen. With the threads wrapped, we need to attach a 3/4 to 3/4 brass adapter so we can connect the pump to the hot water outlet side. Sadly, my usual plumbing tool I use does not fit this brass fitting, so we have me struggling with the wrench on the fitting while my arm gets in the way of the camera. With the adapter connected, it's time to take the pump and spin, baby, spin. Make sure to verify that your pump is installed the proper way to ensure it is flowing out of the water heater and not in. If you buy the same one I did, this orientation here is the proper way to do it. My brain was having a really hard time processing what to do with the power cord while I was doing this. Spin the pump on nice and tight, ideally facing the front for if you ever need to service it. Do not, and I emphasize again, do not plug the pump in yet. It has no switch. Power turns it on, and you don't want it running dry, as it will burn up fairly quickly. With the pump installed, go ahead and reconnect your hot water line to the outlet side of the pump. With the pump fully installed and ready to go, we now have to put in a recirculation or bypass valve that will allow the water to actually circulate throughout the system. You'll want to add one of these to each of your faucets, ideally, but as long as you have one at each end of a plumbing run, you'll get a sufficient amount of circulation. I currently have 2 installed, one in each bathroom, as those are my 2 extremes for my house. The bypass valve kit that I'll have linked in the description will come with the valve, some Teflon tape, and 2 20-inch hoses to attach to your existing shutoff valve. Depending on the shutoff valve that you have and the faucet plumbing that you have, you may have to adjust a few things, such as buying different hoses to go from the shutoff to the valve, and potentially an adapter to go from the valve to the faucet, which I will also link down below. As you're assembling the valve, make sure all of the rubber O-rings are in their respective grooves before tightening things down. Otherwise, it will definitely leak. Once you have the valve fully Tefloned up and hoses attached, assuming they fit for your plumbing, it's time to move to your faucet. Before removing the faucet lines from the shut-off valves, shut off the valves. Very important, otherwise water, it just goes everywhere. With the water shut off, go ahead and remove your hot and cold lines from their respective shut-off valves and connect it into the bypass valves in their place. Now, here under the sink, I'll go ahead and attach the hot and cold water lines for my faucet that we previously removed to the valve. You can see that I had to attach the adapters I mentioned earlier to my valve, as this sink did not have half-inch fittings. Once everything is connected, go ahead and turn the water back on and verify that nothing leaks. Now, for this shot here, things will be different for most. I'm using a Tasmota smart plug that works through Home Assistant, and my recommendation for the average person would be a Wise smart plug, which is very user-friendly and will be linked in the description below. With everything installed and working properly, let's just go through a quick comparison of what happens using the recirculation pump compared to the standard time it takes for hot water to get to my bathroom faucet that's only about 30 feet away from my water heater. As we can see in the top right video where I turn the pump on and then turn the water on, hot water comes to the faucet almost immediately, whereas the video without using the pump takes about 2 minutes. My recommendation is to either have the pump run for about 2 minutes every 30 minutes, or run it for a couple of minutes before using hot water. You don't want to leave the pump running 24/7, as it will cause your water heater to run a lot more and cause some pretty serious wear and tear on your system. With all of that said, if you like the content I'm putting out, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all new content as it comes out. Also, if you want to support the channel, I now have channel memberships for as low as $1 and gets your name in the credits of videos and does a lot to support the channel in future videos. Hopefully this video was informative for you, and as always, thank you so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful day and or night. Take care.